But to finish up on testosterone and whether it's good to take extra testosterone, like not naturally produced in your body, it depends on your situation. There's people that want to change genders and things like that, and that's a whole different situation. And maybe people won't understand what I was trying to explain in the last one about how I don't believe that that I believe that you should only, if absolutely necessary, take those chemical treatments because hormones are a chemical. But I'm more into things like this, natural testosterone boosters. Not even these here, even though I'm sure these are pretty good. These might raise your energy, but it's about what are you going to do with that energy? You have to do therapies that are that consist of being active as a live human person. So you can eat as much of these testosterone boosters as you want. Foods and things that are heavy in vitamin D and zinc and protein and all that. But it really comes down to this, exercise, because you can sit there and like I said, the masturbation. Because every time you ejaculate, you basically dump your testosterone. And then you have to replenish it and all that. And what is it called? Uh, what is it called? And then you end up burning out whatever your testes, I guess, or whatever else generates the testosterone, and you burn it out, kind of like a light bulb. But without, by being active and doing what you need to do and not touching yourself and all that, it can replenish. But some people burn it out to the point, I think, where, but then by that time you're old or whatever anyway and all that. So it's maybe a good thing for older people, much older people that have burned it all the way out. And it's basically like a last, those pellets and all that or whatever, that's a last resort. That's like you burned it all the way out. And here, buddy, we're going to give you this chemical stuff we're going to inject in you. And if you don't get off your butt and start going, then you're done. You can eat as much ginger as you want, oysters as you want. You can eat as much pomegranates as you want and all that. But then it comes down to caloric intake and what are you doing with those calories and yada yada. Okay, so it's not the only, and he never said it was, it's not the only remedy. It's supposed to be a complete therapy. You have to, you don't necessarily need these. Some people don't, but the whole point of these is to have these in with a whole regimen. You got to have a whole regimen behind it. It's not about just taking it and then thinking it's just going to magically. I mean, unless you want to just sit there and, but then you're not going to fix your problem. Because after you masturbate and ejaculate, you're still going to feel like you're missing something. So I wouldn't get it if that were the case, or else you might have some weird side effects. Who knows? That may be the thing people are missing. Is that could be a thing. But other than that, I think with the increased testosterone, I might look into it. I might try it out. This stuff looks all right. Albumin Gold. Natural stamina and strength supplement. liver function, kidney function. I actually have a uh, couple supplements that my auntie Susan Wilson gave me, Soul Life, but I can't even stomach them. They're in these they're in these big what do they call them? Gel capsules. They have another word for them, veggie caps. And I can't even swallow the veggie caps. So it doesn't come, I'm getting enough nutrients, and I think a lot of other people are too. And then there could be a different spectrum of people that are underweight, and that's what I think this one's more for. These supplements are more for people that um, are very low on certain nutrients and things of that nature. Like they're very skinny and they need more muscle and they need more, etc., etc. But his beard growth is very nice. Or maybe they completely replace a lot of their um, solid food diet and replace it with these nutrients, which would be good for weight loss. But for me, like I would have to starve for like a week or two, like no food, maybe even like 4 days, 3 or 4 days, no food at all, maybe five, even a week to even get one of these veggie caps down. But I'm sure it would help me lose a lot of weight. And that's what I've determined about this. So I still have my 3 bottles, the Re-Kick, the Reform, and the Celinda. So who knows? My body is not ready right now because you can feel it in your body, the stress levels. And I did a starvation sort of diet. What was it? Not a starvation diet. What is the term for it? There's a certain term for it when you try to it's not Ramadan, because a lot of people keep saying that word Ramadan. There was another English word for it. It was just called abstinence from solid food or abstinence from food. But there was also another word people used to say, or a term. It was called like anyway. It was refraining from food, and I just can't think of that word. It just won't come up in my brain. It's stuck. Uh, and I would have to do that to even get on this stuff. And I just did that not long ago, and my body's still stressed out from it. So I just wouldn't be able to starve myself enough to be able to stomach one of these. I can't even get it down my throat. But and same with the green. It's filled with this green powdery. A lot of these supplements. I've already smoked so much cannabis in my life and things. I'm allergic to it. But I remember when I was younger, that was when I should have started these ones, is when I was much younger. Around 14 or 15 years old is when I should have got on this stuff, when I was really craving that green plant. Because I used to crave green plant a lot, which I ended up it being marijuana. So I've already consumed so much green plant in my life. When I look at it, and I just can't stomach it. It's almost like bananas for a lot of people and me. You develop a resistance to it after you've consumed it enough. It's about, really, it's not just about these supplements. It's more about making changes to your diet, things that you haven't necessarily had before or had much. Like I used to hate cucumbers. Hated them when I was younger. I used to like pickles. Now I can't stand pickles. And I like the occasional cucumber. I used to not, it used to be like, yeah, it used to have this really gross taste to it, in my opinion. And now it's like a refreshing feeling when I consume some cucumber. Then some people have had cucumbers, pickles, and yada yada, and they don't like it either. They need to go searching for something they haven't had yet. Some people get into truffle. I got into truffle a couple years back. That has a really distinct taste to it. Okay? You get sort of sick of mushroom or whatever, and you want to try truffle. It almost has that similar taste to it as almost like a mushroomy taste. And so it's all about that, I think, right now for a lot of people that are alive. And then it also gets in your DNA. Like if you're a big consumer of a certain food when you're in like pregnant, your baby, believe it or not, consumed the same thing. So if you ate a lot of bananas when you were pregnant, your baby probably won't like bananas too much after a while because they already consumed a lot of that nutrient while they were in the womb. And the opposite, and etc. So that's what it comes down to. Nutrients is and the things you eat. I've seen it with my own eyes. My mother has been drinking the same beer for years and years and years and years. And she's having health problems, and I keep telling her what the remedies are, and she just won't listen. She's listening to the wrong people. That's happened to me a lot in my life. Is people discredit me, or they think I'm trying to teach them the wrong things, or they look down upon me when I really do know what I'm talking about. I am a bit overweight. I'm fairly overweight, but at the same time, I've seen lots of nurses and doctors that are sort of overweight. And just because they have problems doesn't mean that they don't know about science. I did well in science. I scored A+ in science. And all I do is science.